Hello and welcome back, this is ProTelDev. This time we're going to be going over 2020, the whole year, and basically going over all the development that took part on my channel. Kind of also the things that I covered that weren't put on my channel, different programs I worked on and different things I did, and we'll be going over all of that all the way up to the current time before the end of the year. I figured it was nice to kind of reflect on all of that. So let's start off. Let's go into our videos and go all the way down. So we'll look at the videos first. To start off the year, I basically continued uploading Turtle Trial. However, at this point, Turtle Trial was more or less finished. I think January-ish, I was pretty much finished with the ready release for Turtle Trial. So this was basically it. It was really straightforward. And there was nothing much to it. It was, if you remember, it was a mix of the Game Jam and the basic Turtle Trial game. So it was really simple. Obviously, I released this trailer, which is really cool, and it already had quite a lot in it, which was the base of the game. Then it was ready for release. After that, I took part in doing the Corrupting Spring Game Jam, which was a little bit after, and that was after I did a couple updates for Turtle Trial. We'll look at that in a minute, but basically after going through all of these different things, we did our Corrupting Spring Game Jam, which took part over a certain amount of time. This was obviously when you do videos, you upload them much late after, so this was actually roughly the time when the Game Jam was finished, and so these videos were pretty much like a week or so, a couple weeks after the Game Jam had finished anyway. So then I started looking at my university projects to try and reflect on those, which I did, and I did that all the way through. The only one I didn't do was the VR project, which was kind of a little bit extra on the other one. It was more about understanding the controls and the coding behind it than the actual project, which is why I didn't bother covering it, because it was too simplistic. After that, I did a review for the Harvest Mouse Game Jam. I also did a couple of other updates, including this combat update. So the combat update ended up being called the Bite Back update, which is quite good. And then I did I started working on doing some devlogs, which is specifically updates directly to you, the viewer. And I began working on the Corrupting Spring Remaster, which was the whole point was to try and create new models, new look, new lighting, new whole load of stuff for the Corrupting Spring to hopefully re-release it as a new project. Then obviously I finished off the projects with the university stuff and released a couple more bug fix updates. In total there was something along the lines of about 8 or 9 updates. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But then we come to our more recent stuff, which was the Frozen Chains. So if we go on here, we have the Frozen Chain stuff, which I can show in a minute if you want. I believe it's here, maybe. Yeah, so we end up having the Frozen Change, which is a new UI design and a bunch of other stuff. I kind of explain it in this devlog video, but basically it's really good. I also added a post-fix update. That was kind of just slipped in and just added to the patch notes of the previous update because it was so small, just to kind of fix a couple of quick things after I realized when I released it. We also did the Game Jam before the Frozen Chains update, which is this. The right gift was the game name that I gave, but it was the Yogscast Game Jam 2020. That was a 2-day game jam, and that was really fun. I did end up doing a split screen styled prop hunt style game by a hunter, hide and seek, and it was really fun. I also did a highlights video, which took a little bit of time, but it was basically 5 minutes exactly of all the different things I'd done over the course of university and outside of university, up to I think maybe a month or two ago. So obviously this is all the different things I covered. I've done quite a lot in the time, but this is all the different updates I did. So obviously you got the release of these, but I'll pause it in a second once it gets to the updates. So here we go. So this is all the updates. Well over 1,000 hours plus now. I plan on making a video a little bit later next year where it covers all the different how much lines of code I end up using, and I'm sure it's going to be probably a lot, and that'll be when basically I'm finishing the project for Turtle Trial, which is coming. So these are the updates that I've done. So obviously, as you can see here, I've done 8 updates, which is a lot of updates for a game that is free and I don't make any money from. So that's quite cool. So while we're looking at Turtle Trial, what I'm also going to look at is so that's what we did for Turtle Trial. And what I'm going to now go over is, obviously we got the Within the Stray province, which I plan on looking at a little bit next year. Hopefully we'll try and continue it. It was a bit of a mess before, but we'll try and see if we can do something about that. Now, some of the things I did cover, I didn't put on my YouTube channel but did cover, were a couple of games. I don't want to show them because they're not great, but I did make them for other jams, but ended up dropping out of the jam because I just didn't like how it ended up. So some of these are like dungeon crawlers, simple catching games where you where something drops from the sky and you gotta catch it. So really simplistic game. One of them was a worm game style digger where you gotta try and dig through blocks to get certain things, and it didn't really work out. So over time I've ended up doing other game jams which just didn't work, and it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. There's also the idea that I also did other things outside of that, so this is kind of the bonus stuff that I worked on, which I didn't mention, which is I ended up doing marching squares, which is already quite difficult, but it basically didn't come out with the results that I wanted. I made 1 or 2 videos on it and it just wasn't great. So there's that. Obviously, again, I did like I mentioned, loads of different game jams, but didn't end up showing them. That is all the different things that I've worked on. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of things. A lot of development that's gone on. However, this doesn't mean that I'm done now. Next year it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be cutting down on videos in terms of the length, and I'm just going to be doing more entry videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more game jams, hopefully a lot more smaller game jams, and whether the game's finished or not, I'm just going to show what I've done. But I'm actually just going to talk like I am now and show it, rather than make a full breakdown of it, because I've already mentioned in a previous devlog that it takes a long time to edit these videos. So this has been a good year. I'm really happy with the development. The last thing I want to mention is that I think it was yesterday or the day before I released the Corrupting Springs enhanced version, which doesn't have the new levels or anything. I decided to scrap that because I just didn't want to work on it anymore. So I just didn't want to push and keep going with these new levels when I may never get round to finishing them. So I released the already made levels, but just with the new lighting and the new effects and things. So you can try that out. It's already uploaded. It's already released. So that's already out. So let's have a quick look at itch.io, and we'll look quickly at ProTailDev, which is my finger. Let's type in, and we'll have a quick look. So this is the enhanced version that's just been uploaded. It's really straightforward. I might do a quick video on it next time, but I'm not 100% sure. It's very, very similar to what you see on the videos already, so I don't think I need to. Just get rid of this. And this is what I've got so far. So hopefully this will start filling up over next year, because I plan on releasing a lot more game jam games, hopefully. So this has been ProTailDev, and hopefully you have a great end of year and a start of a good year. This year hasn't been great for everyone, but hopefully next year is better, and I wish you all the best. See you next time.